this is one example of some things that have been wrong. Senator Schiff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Eisenberg, you served during the first administration as the NSC legal advisor. In that capacity, you must have participated in dozens, if not hundreds, of principal meetings organized by the National Security Advisor. Did you conduct any of those meetings by text chat that involved military strike plans?
No, I don't believe so.
So the entire first 4 years of the Trump administration, you never had a text chat conversation about plans to strike targets using an unencrypted or using a commercial app?
Well, I'm not aware of any such an incident anyhow.
And you didn't do that because that would have been a terrible national security breach of protocol, would not?
I would have to know a lot more to know whether that would be a breach.
Would you really need to know more than a conversation about military targets, the time of the attack, the location of the targets, the ordnance being used?
Sure, you'd want to know whether the device is up to a certain level so that it could. I mean, you might make one that
Okay, we're talking about a commercial app like Signal. Would it ever be appropriate to discuss imminent plans to strike military targets on a commercial app?
I still think it's very difficult to answer that question in the abstract. I mean, I can think of circumstances in which you could, sure.
Oh, well, give us a circumstance in which you can talk about an imminent military attack unknown to the public, where it would be appropriate to do so on a commercial app.
Okay, something absolutely urgent happens and needs to go right now, and your normal communication systems don't work. I mean, there's an example where you may have to do something like that.
And where you have access to classified facilities, it would be completely inappropriate, wouldn't it?
I still need to know more.
Really? Wow. And you want to lead the National Security Department at the DOJ, and you would need to know more?
Yes, Senator, I'd like to lead the NSD, and I think I'm exceptionally qualified to do so.
And do you fail to believe the NSA and the DOD when they say that the use of commercial apps like Signal is a security threat and inappropriate for confidential or sensitive data?
I haven't heard what either of those entities has said.
So you don't have any idea what the view of the intelligence community is about the use of commercial apps to conduct government business involving classified or sensitive national security information? You have no idea what the position is?
No, I'm sure the position is that in general that should never happen.
Okay, so what happened in this Signal chat should never have happened. Do you agree with that?
No, as I said before, I would need to know more.
Have you read the Signal chat?
I have not yet.
Yeah, you have not read it. Are you desiring to be willfully blind to what just happened?
No, I was trying to prepare for this hearing, among other things.
Oh, and you didn't anticipate you'd be asked about this? Or is it because you anticipated you would be asked about this, you didn't want to inform yourself of this incredible breach of national security?
There are millions of things going on in the world at any given time.
A tense Senate hearing uncovers explosive allegations of military strike plans being discussed over an unsecured Signal chat. National security is on the line, and top officials are put on the spot. Watch as Senator Schiff demands accountability and exposes potential breaches. Full breakdown, expert analysis, and what this means for U.S. intelligence. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more in-depth coverage on U.S. politics, security, and global affairs. In a moment that stunned the Senate, a top national security nominee was grilled over explosive revelations. Military strike plans discussed via a commercial messaging app. What happened in this hearing has massive implications for U.S. intelligence, global diplomacy, and the future of secure communication within our government. Let's break down exactly what happened and why it matters. It began with a straightforward question. Had the nominee ever participated in text chats involving military strike planning? His answer? A hesitant no. But what followed raised eyebrows. An ongoing Signal chat, allegedly involving confidential military data, unsecured, unencrypted, and outside formal protocols. Rather than a firm stance, the nominee dodged, stalled, and refused to give clear answers, even when confronted with hypotheticals that weren't so hypothetical after all.
I just didn't happen to read it.
The nominee claimed he hadn't reviewed the Signal chat at the center of the controversy, not a good look for someone vying to lead the DOJ's National Security Division Why does this matter? When military strike targets, timing, and locations are discussed on unsecured platforms like Signal, the consequences are severe. Leaks could cost lives, missions could fail, and trust with allies erode. Beyond military intel, the Signal chat allegedly included.
So I just didn't happen to learn about this one.
Oh, I see. There are millions of things going on. Yes, I'm sure there are millions of things going on in the world. But this happens to be probably the biggest national security story of the month, which included a lot of other national security stories, including a war in the Middle East and including capitulation to Putin and Russia. But you just happened to neglect to read this one. Is that what we're led to believe?
I just happened not to read it, that's all.
Well, let me ask you this. If you're using a commercial app to discuss the identity of targets, their locations, and that information were to become public, it could compromise those operations, couldn't it?
It depends on what the operation is and where in the operation.
Well, let's say an operation to strike targets in Yemen, Houthi targets that identify, say, a top missile operative and the location of the girlfriend's building. Those kind of specific details discussed on a commercial app could jeopardize that operation if it became public.
Yeah.
Isn't that true?
It depends on the circumstances. And
Well,
that's
I just
why-
gave you the
And that's why I'm not going to answer a hypothetical question.
Well, it's not hypothetical. I wish to hell it were hypothetical. This just happened. This was shared with a journalist on a commercial app. You need more.
The risks are real, no matter your political lean. This hearing wasn't just about a nominee, it was a warning shot, one that reminds us that in today's digital age, one message can spark a global crisis. For more updates on this developing story and deep dives into national security, hit that subscribe button. This isn't the last we've heard of Signalgate.